From Lorelai and Luke to Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams, there were some celebrity stars who were amazing on screen but actually hated each other. Here are some actors that were very rude to their co-stars. This one will probably shock you because of their amazing chemistry. It's the duo from The Notebook. The two were amazing on screen, and the surprising part is that they even dated for a couple of years once the movie was over. But here's the kicker. Did you know that the adorable duo from The Notebook actually hated each other in real life?
You want to dance with me?
No.
Why not?
What date?
The date that you agreed to?
No.
Yes, you did. You promised and you swore it.
Well, I guess that changed.
Yep, as hard as it might be for you to believe, that's actually the truth. They hated each other so much that they would always be at each other's throats while on set. Director Nick Cassavetes once spilled the deets, claiming that they had planned to keep it on the down low, but Rachel and Ryan never got along. In fact, there was this one time that things got a little out of hand while on set. So basically, there were around 150 people on set waiting for a big scene to take place, and Ryan kinda lost it. Right in the middle of the filming, he asked the director to come to his side and said, "Would you take her out of here and bring in another actress to read off camera with me?" Yikes! Imagine the embarrassment Rachel must have felt. He even added that as an actor, he wasn't getting anything out of doing a scene with her, and he wanted her out. The director then ushered them to a private room where both of them ended up yelling and screaming at each other. Jeez. But hey, you gotta admit that they're amazing actors. Like none of us ever caught that they hated each other so much. Next up is another duo fans couldn't get enough of. It's the two BFFs from Sex and the City. They were the epitome of true best friends.
I'll be going there.
Of course you will. I'm going back for more spices. I don't think I got enough.
Okay.
Indeed, it was their relationship that made me feel like there was good in the world, but unfortunately, it was all just for the camera. Sarah and Kim were a realistic portrayal of the best friend duo, with Sarah being the more level-headed one and Kim the more eccentric one, but the truth was rather different. The first SATC film didn't come out until 2008, 4 years after the series finale, with most of the blame placed on Cottrell. So, hold on, why did she end up becoming a problem throughout production? Well, she made a financial demand that the rest of the people on set didn't like. In an interview with Piers Morgan, after she was repeatedly called out by many people, Kim said that Sarah could have been kinder to her. Yikes! I wonder what she did to Kim on set that made her say that. This next duo made us believe in love, but in reality, they hated each other. It's Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze.
So we take each other's hand.
Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze had beef while making another 80s movie together, Red Dawn. It turns out she hated him so much that she didn't want him to be her leading man in Dirty Dancing. The two actors had a serious talk after he was hired as Johnny and attempted to put their disagreements aside, but they often argued on set. In fact, they would always be at each other's throats while on set. The director also mentioned how at times they'd either be verbally arguing or making faces at each other. The director of Dirty Dancing once said that he let the camera film while Swayze and Grey argued on set. Can you guess which scene it was? It was one in which Johnny and Baby practiced a sensuous arm gesture, and he rolled his eyes at her. That wasn't scripted. He was actually annoyed with her. Patrick Swayze reportedly became more frustrated with Jennifer Grey because of her problems with the choreography and her silly moods during retakes. This next one's a classic couple. It's Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep.
Accident to him 2 months ago, right after I saw you at Mellon's. And I never thought he would bring it up. Never. But after that, it became increasingly difficult.
Mrs. Kramer.
Kramer vs. Kramer wouldn't have been the same without these two, but even though you and I love them, they hated each other. Meryl Streep has spoken out about her time on the Kramer vs. Kramer set, saying that Dustin Hoffman was a difficult co-worker. One example was Streep requesting and receiving permission from writer-director Robert Benton to alter a sequence. As reported by The Telegraph, Hoffman became super angry when he saw the change and spoke, "Meryl, why don't you stop carrying the flag for feminism and just act the scene?" Streep also said later that he'd often completely lose his cool while on the set, which made things super difficult. And then there was even this one instance in the film when Hoffman smacked his co-star. He hit Meryl, and she couldn't believe it. When talking about the slap, she said that it was her first film and her first take in her first movie, so she obviously wasn't expecting to be slapped like that. Years later, on Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens Live, Streep played Marry, Shag, Kill, and she picked to kill her ex-co-star. This next duo played lovers on screen but hated each other in real life. It's Luke and Lorelai from Gilmore Girls. I love the fact that their hostility never really showed in the show, or else it would have been a complete disaster. I mean, they made me believe in love. So you know why I was super disappointed to find out that they never really got along. And they always accepted the fact and never even tried to force a friendship. When talking about their bond, Graham said that their characters have great chemistry, but they aren't intimate at all in reality. Lauren was also asked once if they were the best of friends, and she quickly denied it, saying no. Up next is a famous duo that argued all the time while on set. It's Julia Roberts and Nick Nolte.
Is this yours?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Listen, do me a favor. Quit giving me advice. First, I shouldn't eat bacon, then saturated fat. If I took it as a backup, I never thought we'd be here again.
Yeah.
Look,
I gotta go.
In 1994, the Los Angeles Times published an article about a tense situation on set, and it got everyone talking. Apparently, they were always bickering on set. Reporter Judy Brennan said that Roberts, annoyed by Nolte's attitude, often insulted and belittled her co-star. Others on site say he became so frustrated with her attitude that he intentionally irritated her. Apparently, the conflict between the two parties was so serious that they preferred to play stand-ins rather than to each other. The two even talked about their fights in an interview. She said that they had been teasing one another from the first day they met and that their pranks eventually wore each other down. She explained that despite his endearing qualities, he is very repulsive at times. She added that he's going to hate her for saying this, but he seems to go out of his way to repel people. Nolte responded, "It's not nice to call someone disgusting, but she's not a nice person. Everyone knows that." Finally, there's this duo from Charlie's Angels, Bill Murray and Lucy Liu. When shooting the 2000 action movie Charlie's Angels, Lucy Liu and Bill Murray did not exactly get along. As far as Liu is concerned, Murray never stopped insulting her. Sometimes it was completely uncalled for and always unfair. Lucy said she was not going to sit there and endure what she called inexcusable and unacceptable comments. So this one time, she absolutely lost it. While Murray has yet to address the controversy head-on, some say that he loudly complained about Liu's acting method on set. There was this one time right in the middle of the shoot, he said, "I realize why you're here and you've got skill," while pointing at Drew Barrymore and Cameron Diaz. But then he pointed at Liu and said, "What in the hell are you doing here? You can't act." Ouch, that must have hurt. Anyway, that's all I had for you today on celebrities who were rude to their co-stars.